live.
All right, welcome back, Alliteralites. That's their name. To a literal show. I'm Mike James, currently doing the introduction. To my left, we have Bill Billinson.
That's it. That's my name.
Charlie Chucka Fucka Bobucka Fletcher. And George the Punk Rock Young.
He's in a Hut Clan. Charlie.
A Hut Clan.
Today we'll be covering video games for real gamer dudes. Charlie getting hosed. I won't finish the second half of this topic. And Smash Mouth and the Straight Pride Parade. That makes me laugh every time I say it out loud.
That's my favorite title for anything.
That should be the episode title.
That should be the name of the show.
What?
Oh, wow.
The name, just, okay, fuck.
We can
it's
vote on
not
it right
literal
now.
anymore. It's Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth
And the
the
Gay
straight,
Pride Parade.
It's a straight
Pride Parade.
Why don't they just have a Smash Mouth parade?
America needs that.
I think it's
Now
called,
more so than ever.
I think it's called Sunfest.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I like
Now
Sunfest.
you're an all-star?
That was good.
I remember you got really excited to go see Steve Higher fucking
CHS.
Learning Winwood or whatever it was.
Higher Love.
Higher Love.
Higher
Yeah, that was
Learning.
it. Higher Learning. Great movie.
Bring me
starring
a higher love.
Mackay Pfeiffer.
I do remember that. Higher Learning.
Oh, Mackay Pfeiffer. He was in
The
8
Pied Piper.
Mile,
Yeah.
right? Was that the guy that
Oh
hosted
shit, it was
the rap-
Omar Epps in Higher Learning.
But Mackay Pfeiffer was the guy in 8 Mile who was
Yeah.
hosting the
He was at the shelter,
rap battles.
goddammit.
What was the...
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
That sounded racially
that sounded like
charged.
appropriation.
No, that was his big thing. Every time they started to do the freestyle, he always had to remind them, "We in the shelter."
I love
That
that you
was-
did it a
that-
second time.
Me too.
That's what he said.
Real quick, I would like to address the
Mackay, we're at the shelter right now.
Yeah, there you go. Better.
Please bring your best freestyles.
Bring me your best
I'd like-
freestyle accoutrement.
I'd
if
like
you
to
will.
address the steel magnolia in the room,
The
which
Steel
is your
Panther.
new addition to your body.
Oh yeah, y'all remember we talked about this? What was it, last week?
Yep.
I remember.
I asked you guys if I should get it, and I think it was like a 2/3 yes, 1 no.
For the record,
I abstained.
I wasn't asked because I wasn't here.
What would you have said?
Go for it, you big beautiful son of a bitch.
We're talking about his septum ring, by the way,
Oh,
for the
then never
audio
mind,
listeners.
absolutely.
you can't see it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I should be a little more specific. So yeah, you were talking about it last week, even though I wasn't on the show,
Mhm.
and you did it. You got your septum pierced,
Yep.
which for anybody who's not aware is the bull ring
Yep.
in the nose.
Yep, going in one nostril.
And instead of
out the
bar,
other.
because I think that was your suggestion, Charlie, was the
Yeah,
bar.
no, it was
We
the
discussed that.
bone through the nose.
like
He
the-
wanted the aboriginal bone through the
Yeah.
nose. And
I wanted him to look like he was about to take down a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You know what? That is the issue. There aren't enough cultures we haven't appropriated yet, so why not
Yeah.
also just
Why
turn
not,
that into-
why not
This
the
is ours
whitest? Why don't we just get the whitest dude at the table to get an aboriginal bone through his nose?
Well, you are actually more tan than you were in episode 1, so
That's just the lighting,
somebody's
Charles.
been using a
that's
bronzer.
color correction.
That's just the color correction.
So what
Has
was
nothing to
the
do.
initial inspiration? You just getting bored?
I literally did it on a whim.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those things where I hadn't.
Well, I wouldn't say on a whim. You
Yeah.
did talk about it long before you actually
right,
did it.
but like the idea,
Just popped
was-
in your head.
Yeah,
No
was-
inspiration, no
Nope.
rhyme or reason.
none whatsoever. I saw it on a bunch of young, cool teens. And I
Were they
thought
all female?
I would like no,
Okay.
no. Quite a few of them were boys.
I think that's I've seen more females with that
Me
piercing
too.
than men.
But specifically, his girl has one.
She do. Shout
Oh,
out,
is that,
shout out to my girl, Cassidy. Sorry to bring your fucking name up.
Well, I didn't.
we were
say
gonna
it.
let it. Yeah, we were gonna let it die with your girl.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna fucking. I just kept it going.
Well, you know. Hello.
So,
Cassidy, now she's out there. You're
So did it?
part of the.
Did it hurt?
Oh, okay. Here's the thing. It was like excruciating pain for like half a second and then nothing. Like the kind of like my eyes immediately watered. I was like butthole puckered, like just
Yeah.
crazy pain and then nothing. And it's been fine ever since.
Because occasionally, because I'm old now, I tweeze my nose hairs, and some of them are like, some of them I swear to God, I pull from my brain, and it's like, my
Yeah.
eyes are all watery. I'm like, I have this terrible face on.
Mhm.
So it was like that times 10.
Those are the worst nose hairs.
It's-
The brain nose hairs. Mm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you lose a memory every time you do that?
I feel like I lose memory every time I have a beer.
Well, you probably do.
Also, we just talked about last night how I've been purging information that I don't deem necessary to my life anymore.
Which is why we are terrible at trivia now.
Yeah, Geordie's like, I'm not very good at trivia. We sat down. So last night we went to trivia at
Can I pause?
Yeah,
I
please
should
do.
amend. I've never been good at trivia. Continue.
should we name this bar if we're gonna be
Are we okay? Yeah.
okay?
I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
All right, great. So we went to
I might
Blue
lose my
Door.
gig there, but it's
Let's
let's
not
not.
name the bar. Let's just talk about the story.
Yeah.
Okay, but I did say it just now.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, whoooops. Well,
Whatever.
sorry.
All right. Anyway, so
Been a
we
good run.
went to the bar and where Bill does trivia on Tuesday nights, and we're like, hey, let's get the group together the night before we record. That'll be fun. And I sat down, and Geordie's like, I think one of the first things you said to me, you're like, for the record, I'm not good at trivia. And I'm
But you
like,
had me there.
and I'm like, well,
We said that too.
I used to think I was better at trivia because I used to host trivia for fun at a bar. And I've discovered, though, trying to remember any of that information, that I have purged so much shit. If it doesn't directly impact me or my life, I deem it unnecessary and I delete it from my brain.
Yep.
Stuff that would probably be useful to know still, I've just purposely forgotten things that I think would come up in normal life, and I have to like relearn or rethink about that normally would be called up.
Oh, wow.
Well, I would say it's drug use, but I've never done them. So,
You never done any drugs?
Does
okay.
Tylenol count?
He's done weed.
I feel like we discussed this
We did.
briefly.
So-
You ate some weedables.
Two separate times. The one was when I mentioned I was in New York and I got the chocolate shaved into my hand and licked my
Right.
hand for no reason.
Mhm.
Probably wasn't enough to do anything. The first time was on my 21st birthday. Somebody brought a brownie they made at home, and they put it like eighth of crip in it apparently, and I ate the brownie, like the whole pan. I was drunk hungry because I'd already been drinking by the time that showed up, and I like just there's a picture somewhere with me handfuls of this weed brownie, like just.
Were you aware that it was a weed brownie before you ate it?
Yes. When you say aware, I was drunk. They told it to me, but I was probably didn't
Not
process it when I was
necessarily.
just eating it by the handful.
Yeah.
And then I was, I think, actually high for like 30 minutes, and then I went into my bedroom and went to sleep.
You were probably high
Okay.
all night. You were just sleeping.
Yeah, and it was only like 11:30, and I remember, oh god, my buddy John. My girlfriend was like guarding. My girlfriend at the time was like guarding my bedroom door, not letting anybody come see
Not
me,
letting
like
the other
protecting
girls
me
in.
like a lioness.
Stay away. He's high.
No, he's high, and he's like he's. And I remember this one excerpt
He's
before
high and it's contagious.
Well, he's got the devil's lettuce in him.
before I completely passed out. I remember hearing my buddy John through the door going, "He's fine. He's high. He just needs like milk and a cookie and a hug." And that's all what I remember specifically. And then that's it. Then I woke up probably like 12:30, so I was asleep for maybe an hour. She had kicked everybody out of my house except for like 3 people who were like, you don't tell me to leave my best friend's house. You're high as hell.
Yeah.
Jokes, I guess, that she's not high. And I woke up and there was 3 guys, and then we just partied hardcore like we had like 30 people hadn't left for until like 3 or 4 a.m. And I felt great. I just needed to sleep it off.
Yeah.
I think the problem was I was already drunk, so it had already, and I'd never had it in my system. So my body's like, let's just shut down.
Yeah.
Let's just turn it off for a second.
Yeah.
That'll probably knock you out. From all I hear, it's 1,000 times better than there's no like hangover from smoking too much weed. You just might get paranoid for a little while.
Have you never smoked?
No.
Oh, wow.
So I've been in a lot of trouble in my life,
Mhm.
and it occurred to me when I had the opportunity to start, I'm like, I really don't need to add this to my repertoire of things that I could get in trouble for, especially because I'm super forgetful. So I would get like pulled over probably, right? And I'd be in one moment, officer, I need to move my bowl and this bag of regs.
Wait. Don't look. Don't look.
No, I wouldn't even say that. It wouldn't even be on my radar. I'd open the glove box and move all the paraphernalia out of the way to get my registration.
You ask him to hold it. Can you just real quick? Just take
one
that
moment.
to my bowl.
Oh shit!
I'll need that back.
Yeah. So that's me. And then there would be multiple firearms on me and shit. And now I'd be a felon for just So I'm not against it, and I would probably if it becomes federally legal.
Yeah.
To where there's no any kind of repercussions. I'm a business owner too.
Yeah, you're a big
I think
business
it's an
boy.
absolute fucking joke that it's legal in certain states now, and there's people serving life sentences for it.
That's what I'm saying. There's no
That blows my mind. Now, granted, it was illegal when they did what they did and broke the law, but now,
But it should never have.
But
been
also,
illegal.
and this is coming
Yeah.
from someone who never, really did drugs like the one time, and that was it, right? So it comes from someone who has no fondness for drugs.
Mhm.
I think that the laws against people, especially targeting marijuana, either the sale or the use of, was always insanely overblown.
it's stupid.
Well,
and
ridiculous.
the percentage of people in prison right now are like serving. I think the percentage of people that are in there for exclusively marijuana related charges is like insanely high.
So it would
It's
save
like
the
a
country a shit ton
very
of money.
formidable chunk.
Well, not
to
even.
release them.
Aren't most of the prisons now privatized anyway? They're like
A lot of them
for-profit
are.
prisons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus.
which is
So prison reform
disgusting.
needs to
Shame on
happen.
you, America.
But yeah, so also coming from somebody that doesn't smoke, if you consider that cigarettes and legal prescription pharmaceuticals are killing people at like incredibly higher rates,
Yeah.
and
Opioid
marijuana
crisis.
is even
Genocidal
damaging
rates.
people.
Yeah.
If you consider that you and I can drink right now, all these drinks, and then drive and kill somebody impaired, if we were to drive, but you can't smoke a joint,
Yeah.
that shit is fucking insane to
It's a
me.
joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
So
It's like if you see like a commercial for an antidepressant and one of the fucking side effects is may cause suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
And it just might, probably won't, but it could do the opposite of what we want
Yeah.
it to do.
Well, hang on. Playing devil's advocate for a second, America did try to turn the tables on alcohol, and it didn't go very well.
No, it went fucking
No.
horribly.
and if they try, if we had been legal,
It actually just created
then they
and
outlawed
they
the
tr-
same
yeah,
shit
yeah,
would've
exactly. But I think they're just worried about. Well, now the issue is like, okay, the states that have legalized are making money hand over fucking fist.
oh yeah, the
Yeah,
government
but
would make a ton
you
of money.
gotta you gotta realize too. Back when they did prohibition, back then, people would wake up in the morning. Like people drink now. People drink heavily. You go out to a bar and you're like, oh, that guy shows up at 11 a.m. when they open the door and he drinks all day. But because I work in a restaurant and I see it. I work in a sports bar.
Yeah, you probably know a lot of people that show up at the same bar at the same time in the same days.
Yeah. So back then, because there's a really good show on Netflix about prohibition. And
What's it called?
It's called Prohibition.
Terrible title.
Clever.
Leading, led the witness.
No, but
How
I
would I
didn't
know what it was
realize. I
about?
didn't realize that the average 25-year-old male in like 1905 would drink by the time he was 60 would have consumed 88 liter bottles of whiskey. Because they would get up in the morning, they would have whiskey at
rookie
breakfast,
numbers.
whiskey
I've
at lunch,
witnessed him
whiskey at
this
dinner.
week consume that.
So prohibition came about because these men, it was masculine to go out and drink whiskey with everybody after you got out of work. The men would go out, they'd spend their entire paychecks on drinking. They'd come home. Back then it was legal. Marital rape was legal. So they were abusing their wives, raping them. Prohibition came about because women were finally like, we've had enough. Like it's the guys are getting drunk, they're killing themselves or they're drinking themselves to death. Women are being left with back then they didn't really have any work skills.
What was the year it started?
Prohibition, I think
20s, 30s?
initially was put into effect in the 1800s. They tried it and then it happened in the 20s and 30s, I believe.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine women getting anything done back then because we barely regarded them legally
Yeah.
from a legal
Yeah.
standpoint.
Yeah.
So,
But it was prohibition was brought about because women were like, I'm tired of my husband coming home beating the shit out of me.
Period.
Don't do it.
I'm tired of them coming home.
I'm just
I can't stand
Yeah.
it when he comes home.
it was
Stepped
unfair
into my dang
conditions.
house.
I mean, so
Yeah, of
it
course.
made sense.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
But it also caused the crime rate to skyrocket. You
Yeah.
know, there would have never been an Al Capone really had there not been prohibition.
You know what? We missed out on a perfect segue since we were talking about the venue where one of the things that we're going to talk about today happened. And maybe we should get back to it is at the Blue Door, which we named already.
Is it coffee
Um,
bar? Blue Door Coffee Bar?
I believe
That's
so.
technically the full name. Well, actually, the reverse of what you just said.
Blue Door Bar Coffee.
So we had
Yep,
we
that's
had an interesting thing happen to our
Blue
friend
coffee
Charlie
bar
here.
door.
Charlie, would you like to take over, or would you like me to go ahead and outline it?
I'm still pissed about
All right,
it.
Mike.
Do you mind?
Take the reins.
Okay, so
Jesus, take the wheel.
this bar, a couple facts just to give you some context.
And it was just water.
Okay.
But it's just,
So it's got a really nice little outdoor courtyard area where the trivia takes place, and little tables and chairs and a lot of trees and plants around the perimeter. And the bar is also owned by a lawyer who has a practice, and the building connects, I think. So the practice is right there in the
True,
courtyard.
correct.
So is the
Same
the
property.
bar, same property. So and he likes to frequent the bar, as any owner I'm sure does. And he decided that at around, what is that, like a little 10:30?
no.
Well,
No, it was early. It's like
because
9:30.
finish at 10:30.
Okay, so it's like
Every night at
9:30. I
10:30,
want to
Say
say
9:30, yeah.
this guy decides to come out, take a garden hose. And
with a fully packed
yeah.
patio.
The courtyard, by the way, is packed. Like it's almost all the tables are filled, asses and seats. And he decides to start watering the plants and there's no like actual like watering attachment on this hose.
He was
at all.
watering
raw
with
hose,
reckless
no
abandon.
attachment.
raw hose.
Yeah.
And he's just like dumping water in these plants and walking around the outside of this courtyard. And we all made a comment about it.
One thing to add to the outside of the courtyard. By outside, Charlie or Mike means we were sitting inside. Then there's plants. Then there's a gate. Then he's outside. So he's having to arc over the gate to splash water down into the plants that are right next to all the customers.
Yeah, and
Continue.
he starts in the opposite of the courtyard away from us. And I'm like, and we made comments like, is he really watering the fucking plants right now? Probably better time to do that. And we made a couple jokes and that was the end of it. But then he slowly, between talking to customers and watering, worked his way down towards us. And this is where it gets fuzzy because he actually, I guess, asked Charlie.
So he got to the one right next to Charlie and he said, "Do you mind?" Or
Well,
something like
he
that?
was
Do you mind if I
watering
water
the
this?
ones to the right of me, like further over by the fence.
Yeah.
There was a plant, touching my leg.
Like, like 6 inches away from you.
the leaves were coming over my leg. And I turned to
Fondling
him.
your thigh.
I turned to him and very politely said, "Hey man, would you mind not doing this one? Because I can't get out and I'm very close to it." And he goes, "Oh, it's okay. I won't hit you." And he starts arcing it over and just right into the thing. And I'm like, "Hey, you're spraying me." And he's like, "No, I'm not."
Now, while
Like,
this is happening,
you are.
not to interrupt you, but while this discourse between them starts, there's just this full unspigoted line of water coming from the hose, arcing over Charlie's shoulder into this plant. And I just take out my phone and I start recording because it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Obviously, clearly, Charlie's getting splashed, pants and shoes. And then it starts to hit. Geordie's sitting directly next to Charlie, and it starts hitting Geordie's shoes.
So I'm an entire seat further, and I have shorts on. Charlie has jeans on,
And he's in like disbelief that it's like you're like, hey, it's actually splashing me.
I can feel it on my legs.
Which at this
splashing.
point, especially if you're the proprietor of the establishment, you go, oh, maybe this is a really stupid thing to do at a really inopportune time. And also now I have customers complaining. That would be a good time to apologize and walk away.
So my memory of it is slightly different. He came up, from what I remember, clearly in my own mind, but I could be incorrect, and asked. Once he got to that, he stopped. Once he got to that plant, rather, he stopped, and then he said, "Do you mind if I water that plant?" And then Charles was like, "Yeah, actually, I would prefer you not do that." And then there was like a pause, and he watered something else behind us. He went off, and he came back, and then started watering it. And as soon as he started watering it, he started talking to Charlie, justifying how it could not possibly spray him and everything would be fine, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I turned to him and was like, that one particular.
If anybody, by the way, we
but-
posted the video on our Instagram.
Instagram, a literal show.
A literal show on Instagram.
It cut off right before I started.
It's
kinda
so
laying
funny,
into
yeah,
him.
because
You just hear him like, "You're not getting wet." And Charlie's
Yeah, the whole time.
Your
Like,
eyes get so wide,
yeah, I am.
So-
And it was pissing me off because I wanted, my immediate reaction is to get nasty with him.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm
I was
like,
gonna
this
say,
is the
yeah.
owner.
To get physical is
I'm
what he
holding
means.
it back. I'm holding it back.
That's
'cause
why
I
the
just
video
wanted
is
to
so
take my
funny.
beer off the table and throw it in his face and be like, see how it feels. But I'm like, hey man, you're splashing me. You're getting the water all over me. There's no way it's hitting you. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you,
whole time.
it is.
The whole time he was spraying. This was like 20 seconds at least, maybe 30. Not
it was
exaggerating.
a long time.
A long time of him watering this plant while arguing with Charlie that it couldn't possibly be spraying him.
While it's spraying him.
Meanwhile, my shoes have like splatter pattern all over
There's a
them.
big puddle under the table.
Yeah, there's a puddle of water running by
Take
them.
a photo of that.
My
can feel
favorite
it.
was after everything was said and done, when I went to pay my tab, he goes, hey man, what's your name? I said, it doesn't matter. He goes, no, I want to take care of you. I said, no, don't take care of anything for me.
He had a chance to do
Like,
that.
all you had
Yeah.
to do was
Yeah.
not water that fucking plant. I asked you not to. It's like you were an asshole outside and it wasn't an issue. Don't act like it's a fucking issue now that I'm paying my tab.
By the way,
I don't
real
want
quick.
nothing from you. I want to pay my tab. Fuck this place. I'll be back 2 weeks for trivia because I'm going to come support my boy.
You know what?
But any other day,
No.
like, no.
So-
if fuck that guy.
We're going to bring our own beer, though.
So yeah, that's in
We're gonna
context,
bring
right? It's
some
like
big wave golden
cone.
we
He
joked
wanted,
that
he wanted
this
to be
was
very apologetic at the end, but all you had to do was just not water the fucking plant right next to me.
we even made the joke that this was 10 years ago, Charlie. It would have played out a lot differently
Oh,
because that's the
man.
thing. Much like Viggo Mortensen, Charlie has a history of violence. And
I love that movie.
I was sitting on that for like fucking 10
Yeah, you
minutes
were
and I
waiting for
didn't
that.
want to forget it. I just really needed to get that out there. But that's what's funny about this video is that Charlie's obviously fighting and arguing with himself in his own head in this video.
Teeth
and there's
grinding.
just this water going over his shoulder. And you can see the thought process like,
Should I?
Should I knock out a lawyer? Probably not.
I was struggling with that.
Okay, and we should also mention that this guy is like a shorter, scrawny.
He looks like a weasel.
He's a slimy little man. And earlier in the same night, my only other interaction with him was he was standing in front of the door for the customers to get into the bar. Now, keep in mind, this is a customer service business. So this is why the hose is a bigger deal than it normally would be. Like if it was just his property and he's hosing some things, that's his, prerogative.
Yeah, we weren't hosting. He wasn't hosting trivia on his neighbor's lawn.
But this is actually an establishment where people are paying to be there and drink and customer service, right? The customer's always right. So the other thing he did earlier in the night was he stood in front of the entrance from the patio into the bar area. So I was trying to go get the next round for Charlie and I because Mike had not arrived yet. And he was talking to these very, very young girls. And he's not very young, by the way. And he knew I was there because I'm at least a head taller than him. I'm twice as wide in every direction. And he just ignored the fact that I was there trying to walk in, pay money to get another drink.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to like alpha male me. So I finally had to, not like old Geordie walk through him, but like as delicately as I could so as not to upset the balance because our friend Bill works there.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
I was just trying to get a drink and I was not trying to cause any drama. But I also, there's no part of my body that can let me sit there and wait for him to move. It is not in my genes. So I had to walk through the
Did you
guy.
ask him?
Yeah. I said, excuse me. And then I went through him.
Okay, that's
I gave
fair.
like
As
a
long as you give
real
him
quick
chance.
pause.
He went through him in the way a person would like walk through a curtain, just very
Yeah. I barely
gently.
touched him.
Just slowly
I
moved
slightly
him out of the
shifted-
way.
Okay.
I slightly shifted him
Back
out
of the
way.
forearm.
I didn't body check him into the pavement.
Yeah.
And I didn't make eye contact or anything. I was trying my hardest not to have a confrontation. But at any rate,
Yeah.
that only irritated
Flabbergasted.
me for a little while, and then I was cool. I cooled off on that, and then the shit happened with Charlie. I was like, this
Fucking
guy does
hosed.
not give a shit about customers at this bar, which makes me wonder why we're customers at this bar.
He must charge a lot of money by the hour to be an attorney.
Well, I mean, so
I think
what
the
I
bar is
hear-
obviously a passion project. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. Well, no.
it helps. Pay the
Clearly,
bills.
gardening is his passion project because he was very serious
Kim,
about
let's
watering.
bring
his
up-
I'll tell you
fucking
this. There was
plants.
one time I saw him gardening. He got up on the roof to water the plants.
Yeah.
and it was coming down on
Coming-
people
yeah.
coming out of
It
the
actually came
Hit a
very
girl.
close to me.
bar. It was cascading down
Yeah.
onto the people.
Yeah, there was a
They're painting a
I felt
picture.
like
Yes.
I was in a TLC video.
We should
for a
be
second.
clear that there are
And-
plants on the roof, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it'd be funnier though if there were no plants on the roof.
Yeah, if he
decided
just
to
got
stand
up
up
there.
there
But he was
anyway.
watering plants on the ground next to me from the
From
roof.
the roof.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Mm.
Okay, so here's another thing. This man has employees,
Yep.
right? They could water the bar before the bar opens.
Water the bar.
Water the whole
Water
bar.
the plants at the bar before the bar opens.
I like my quiche
So the
watered
justifications he was
beforehand.
telling him, he's like, "Well, I'm a very busy man."
Well, he also said that he couldn't do it in the morning because he had to get up to get a molar removed. Like,
Yeah, he
brush
made,
your teeth,
my-
motherfucker.
he made all kinds of justifications.
Bullshit excuses. Yeah,
Yeah.
please. George, if that was an offer.
I grabbed an empty.
Well,
Well,
what it, also
Hell yeah.
I think after I started like really getting upset with him, that he did stop, but then he got like,
he was
Thank you.
done.
if you've ever been in business and you knowingly do the wrong thing, and then you're like, wow, the customer was fucking right, but
Yeah.
you've already fucked up.
Yeah.
You start trying to make it right, but it's too far gone.
He did the opposite thing. He kept engaging.
Yeah, but then once everything was said and done, then it was like, I want to take care of your tab. I don't want you to.
Yeah.
No.
He had a chance to make it
you
right.
had a
and he-
chance to
yeah.
fix it. I don't want you to buy my tab because fuck you. I'm gonna pay it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the bigger person here.
So Chuck, let me ask you this.
hold
Now
on,
that
hold
you're
on,
not-
hold on. We won. By the way, we won.
Oh yeah,
trivia.
we did.
Oh, yeah.
came
So
in
we
Oh,
already
yeah, we
never,
did win.
Never had a doubt.
We already had a heavily discounted tab because that's what we won.
Yeah.
So it was easier to say no.
He would have paid my $2.
Continue. I'm sorry, Bill.
My question to you is: now that you are no longer rootin' tootin' fighting Charles, where are you going
That's
to
not
like?
true.
I mean, you don't fight as much. There are some
That is true.
great fighting Charles stories, but now that you obviously exercise some restraint, are we turning over a new leaf? And if so, where are you going to like channel the aggression that you otherwise would have exerted on
What
him?
outlet?
Are you going to become a yelper?
No, never. I
Never
go
say never.
off by myself and I yell really loudly.
Just to scream into the void?
Yeah, I've started like learning meditation tactics and things like that.
Oh, that's
Things-
actually probably useful.
yeah, good ways to channel my anger. Because I just get surrounded
You-
when I go out.
Charlie,
I get
could
you-
those
so
weirdest
angry.
People around
Could you
me.
demonstrate some of those meditation tactics right now?
I
Is it like some?
This will make for a great audio show.
With it?
No, I mean,
Well,
as
especially
far
if
as
he goes,
meditation, I pretty much just sit in a room or sit out back of my house and have a
Smoke a
couple of
cigarette.
glasses of Crown.
I just drink more. But he's drinking. No, hang on.
just subsidize
Normally,
it with
when he's rootin'
Crown.
tootin' fighting Charles, he's drinking beer. So
True.
he's saying the meditation involves whiskey.
I mean,
just
who are
pepper
we
and
bullshitting?
fucking
There's no
margarine.
meditation. It's just, I finally got to the point where I'm like,
Those
I
calms me
don't
down.
want to. I don't know. I get up and walk away. I do my best to anyway.
Yeah.
You've been better at it. Also, I want to say that throughout the years, I've been your good luck charm. Charlie has never been in a fight when I've been out drinking with him. Now, what's funny about that, what's compounded about that is that he got in a fight after I left the bar one night, which really lends credence to my point.
I actually almost got him into a fight one night inadvertently.
Hang on, that's actually, you bring up a good question. I don't know about really your history because we've been more acquaintances than friends till semi-recently in the last few years.
Yeah.
Have you ever been
I've been in quite a few.
scraps?
Fights. Yeah.
Scrappy do?
I actually got into a fight at
That's called
Respectable
deflection,
Street
ladies and gentlemen.
Cafe. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
What is it? Sorry.
I have also
Respectables?
been in a fight there.
Respectables. You mean the rape den?
Or two.
Did they change the name?
I real quick story while you I got before Facebook was cracking down on everything. I successfully created a new place at the same exact address called the Rape Den, and it was so we kept tagging ourselves in it when we went, and it got so popular that it even started suggesting it to our friends. Hey, your friends really like going to the rape.
Mike
den.
James checked into the rape.
Yeah,
den.
it happened on.
Well, the joke was we were a girl. She lived out of state and she was visiting, and I brought her out with us. And she's like, "Where are we going?" And either Mike or I said, "The rape den," just as a joke. Well, we were
Because she's in the
talking.
car.
The girl understood my humor. We were talking,
And
She
there
was
were
she was
5
with me,
guys
you know
in the
what I
car.
mean?
Yeah.
So,
I'm
they
alone
have
with
great
4
hamburgers.
strangers and a guy I
so she got the humor and she laughed. She thought it was funny,
fucking
and then
hope so.
inspired by
We
that,
started creating drink
he created it
specials
on Facebook, and she checked us in, and it was like a whole joke.
Oh my god.
But anyway, an inappropriate joke, and in 2019, I'm not sure that would fly. But
No.
this was
No,
more like
absolutely not. But
No,
2009 or something like
would,
that.
It would fly like a
Like a
brick.
lead balloon.
But yeah, we
Yeah.
kept coming up with like drink specials, like that the rape den would have.
She had good
By the
ones.
time we got to Respectables that night, we were in fucking tears. We were
Yeah.
laughing so hard in that truck.
Oh, God.
my God.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but I
Yeah,
wanted to give you
please.
the context
So-
as to why it was called
Okay.
that.
So explain your scrappiness.
So you know how, and this is gonna sound, I'm gonna go from like 0 to 100 real fast. So I was
that how you
dancing. There was
Okay,
a,
Drake.
There was a drag show across the street. So there was
you were dancing there.
all the drag fellas, not myself included, came over to Respectables, and I was very drunk and I got very excited. I was like, "Look at all these beautiful men in beautiful dresses," and they immediately were already like starting to dance. I was like, "I'm gonna go dance with all of them right now."
Of course, why wouldn't
And
you?
you know how they have like those big ottomans in the middle of the dance floor, like the little things people stand up and dance on, and it's like
Yes.
okay. So there was like 4. At the time, there was like 4 of them, and I stood up on one that had like 2, like well over 6 foot tall, like
I
200
know exactly the
pound-
ones you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, big fellas. And they're dancing, and like I jumped up on there with them because, of course, you want to dance with.
He
2,
looks like The Rock, kind of, only in drag.
Yep. Yes. Okay. So I'm dancing I'm sandwiched between 2 very large men in dresses. I'm dancing. I'm having the time of my life. So much fun. I jump down and I sort of lose my footing because I was like, I want to get another drink, take a pee, and
You're drunk.
I'm drunk.
Yeah.
So I jump down.
I need 3 more drinks to make this dream a reality.
You're wearing Doc Martens boots, which aren't the greatest jumping shoes.
No, at the time I think I was wearing like Vans slip-ons or something. This is a
Also
different
not the
era.
greatest
Yeah.
jumping
Yeah.
shoes.
Jesus.
No, arguably worse jumping shoes then. So I jump down, sort of lose my footing, and I accidentally I grab onto this guy to keep myself upright. And I immediately turned and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I just lost my footing. I don't want any trouble. And he was like, yeah, man, no, it's totally cool. It's fine. And so I take 2 steps and I just hear the guy go, just watch where the fuck you're going next time. And for whatever reason,
no.
just for whatever reason,
Oh no.
A real tough guy, yeah?
I just got done dancing with 2 large, beautiful men in dresses, and I jumped down. The guy said that to me, and my mood fucking complete 180. I was like, I'm gonna have to fight a guy now. I was just dancing with two guys, and now I'm gonna have to fight a guy.
Well, actually, it's the principle. Had he said it right away, it probably wouldn't have bothered you.
But he gave you the illusion that he was cool with it, and then, as a coward would, as you were walking away, decided to take a shot.
Yeah, and so I turned around, and Natasha was across the street drinking at O'Shea's.
She would probably win in a fight with you two.
Oh, she'd beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, for sure.
I would enjoy it, but she would beat the shit out of me. So I turn around, I look at the guy, and I was like, what? Because I was kind of drunk, and I wanted to give him another opportunity to be like, I'm just fucking with you, man. Because I would have.
That would have been the only. I think that's the only thing that could have saved that, right?
Yeah.
Is him like, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. I would have been totally cool. I would have laughed it off, whatever. But he was like, yeah, just next time, watch where the fuck you're going.
Oh no, he really doubled down.
Yeah, he did. He was gonna.
That sounds more reasonable. Did he say it as reasonable?
Yeah, if you that was the hill he was gonna die on. That was the phrase he wanted.
That's where he chose.
Just the way you said it just now, though. Like next time, just watch where the fuck you're going. That seems like a reasonable thing to say.
It was just like the way he said. It was like
the tone of voice,
his body
language,
his
gotcha.
fucking So I was like, oh okay. I stared at him for a second, and I just fucking headbutted him.
Oh shit! The headbutt.
Yeah, he went down very quick. Nose started to bleed like a stuck pig. He tried to get back up, and I punched him again. And he went back down, and like he was out. And then I looked to my right, and 4 of his friends are jumping off the couch, and they're coming to kill me. So
you ran behind a 7-foot man in a dress.
So no, they watched the whole thing. They were like, "Bitch, get out of here!" And so I ran out of the building because, of course, I'm alone at this point.
Hang on, the back or the front?
The front. Ran right out the front door. Security guard just like the security guard saw the thing and was gonna kick me out anyway, so he was like, "Good, yep, get the fuck on." So,
wow, great, that was easy.
Yeah, like, yep, not coming back.
This is great.
So I ran across the street to O'Shea's, and I was like, "Tasha, we gotta leave. There's 4 guys that are gonna come kill me." And I was dancing with the drag boys, and they didn't help. And I gotta go. and
Natasha said, "Point them out."
It was probably said exactly like that.
I don't know. I think she was just like, "Okay, bud. Yeah, if you gotta go, you gotta go." So I fucking just dipped out. And
they didn't like. Oh, you didn't like chase you down or probably help them.
Oh, I'm sure they did, but they didn't see it was like a which way did he go situation. Like I had just enough time to.
You're much quicker, as we already know from the prostitute story.
Yeah,
very fast.
Oh my god! When I want to be, I'm real fast. Gotta go fast.
When I'm scared, I'm fast, boy.
So speaking,
like a little rabbit.
You're like the Sonic of confrontation.
Yep.
Gotta go fast.
Yep.
Speaking of running a lot, Mike's got me playing this new game called Satisfactory. And let me tell you about how satisfactory it is.
Hang on. Wait.
Have you ever gone to work for free? Because that's what playing this game is like.
All right,
you got to build a lot of things.
Hang on.
And collect a lot of things.
Stop it. Listen. So I watched the YouTuber that I normally watch. He started playing this game Satisfactory. Watched a couple episodes. I'm like, man, that seems like a game I'd be into. And I just recently, with Geordie's help, built a gaming PC.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie is currently reading the label.
He's really engrossed in it.
Yeah.
He's like, I just couldn't give an absolute shit about what you're talking about right now.
No, I saw something that caught my eye. I'm sorry.
What was it?
It cut your eye?
I saw a nitrogen ball, and that was all.
Well, we were just talking about that too. Anyway, so this game's Satisfactory, and it is play on words because it's basically a game where you drop onto this planet, it's alien planet, and you're kind of like Minecraft-esque, where you have to mine stuff, build buildings, but it's all factory related. So you're laying out conveyor belts and smelting things and have a workshop and assemblers, and you have to get a power plant. You have to run power cables, and I'm really into that dumb monotonous shit. Like I think maybe because I'm so high energy all the time in my real life, sometimes I really appreciate a video game where it's just fucking straight up monotony. And I really also like upgrading things. And when you have enough resources and the building actually changes and gets bigger, and I'm like ticking out on my mouse. I'm like, yes. Oh. But so what Geordie's talking about is that first, to make anything before, when you first start the game, you can't really automate anything. And that's the goal, is to automate more and more stuff so you can do better stuff.
Right.
Well, when you go to the craft bench, the only way you can do it is you have to put your mouse over this button and hold left mouse button.
Have you ever gotten muscle fatigue from playing a video game?
So you have to literally hold it and you have to watch it being made like individually. Like
you don't have to watch it. You can choose to look away.
No,
but you still do have to hold it.
You have to hold it the entire time.
Often Geordie just stares off into space and wishes he was doing anything else.
questioning my life decisions up to this point.
It just sounds like roller coaster tycoon for
it's
people
very
that
similar
want to
that,
kill themselves.
That kind of game,
but
though, like
not
where
complete. So there's a whole bunch of features that I'm assuming must come at some point.
it's early access.
So here's what I would do. I would take the mouse, and I would take my phone, and I'd do this, and then I'd walk away.
Also, the E button in the game lets you
can't do that on
manually.
the E key, by the way.
It lets you manually mine, which is a lot of manually mining the ore because you can't build a miner yet. And so Jordy's like, oh, hell yeah. What am I going to do next? Oh, and I hit E some more? Fucking sweet. And then Jordy's like, fuck this. This sucks. I'm going to go explore. So I'm at the base, like single-handedly trying to get everything so we can get more and more cool shit. And we found out that you can build a space elevator. And I was already in, but then I doubled down. And then when I heard space elevator, Jordy goes, space elevator? Okay, the only reason I'm still fucking playing this game is because you're going to send me to space. Anyway, I'm going to go fight some aliens. Let me know when you're ready to send me to space. And then he would just fucking dip. He just left the base.
I purged the planet, and I did some ecocide.
I was also a lot of this. Oh, wow, I can kill this guy. No problem. Kicking his ass. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. There's 3 times where I died because there's a lot of things. And you have like a taser.
So I don't understand why is the game called Satisfactory.
So
It doesn't sound very
Satisfactory.
satisfactory.
Oh, Factory. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you said. Play on words.
All right.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So anyway,
If it sucks that much, should it be called Sadist
it doesn't
Factory?
suck.
It
yeah,
doesn't
I
suck.
already made
It's just
that joke.
it's a
last
niche.
week.
I think it's obviously geared towards a very. I'm definitely the target audience because I just love upgrading shit.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
I
my
like
favorite
that
thing.
if I have a purpose. Currently, there's no purpose in the game.
Because it's
There may
early
be-
access, so
you,
there's not
you
a.
and Beyonce just love upgrading shit.
Let me upgrade you. Upgrade you.
One of the things is with the Satisfactory, if you like it, you do have to put a ring on it,
Mhm.
and that's the space elevator.
Oh, so we built the space elevator, and it's actually pretty dramatic. So when you,
Oh, I'm sure it
whenever you
sounds
build
like it.
something that big,
Especially with him involved.
all of the parts that are in your inventory, you have to have everything in your inventory if you're going to build a building. And so when you lay it, all of the bits start flying out of your character
It's
body.
shooting out of his face.
It's like
there are
there's
metal
copper
fabrication parts
just
flying out of
as
his
it's building
face,
this big thing,
which is
So-
honestly the best part of the game.
Okay, so say you build this elevator into space.
which we did.
We
Okay,
don't
which
know what
you
it
did.
does because you
Now-
also have to now upgrade it 50 times before it
But
does anything.
okay,
Son of
so
a
there's nothing up there that it's connected to. So once you get
Excellent.
into space, once you get to the top of the elevator,
I'm
just
hoping-
fucking
Oh, hang
sucks
on,
you
so that's
out
the-
I'm
into
hoping it
into
sucks me in the
void.
vacuum and I die and the game ends.
Wait, hang on, wait. So that's the other thing is
There's
that you
no
can't.
respawn
You
ever.
can't
Please.
actually take or ride the space elevator.
Oh,
It's
what?
for loading. Hang on. It's for loading additional components to make it bigger.
Oh, fuck
Because
off.
hang on. So when we built it, there was an upgrade.
Right now, you may
Yeah,
eventually be able to
Oh,
go
no,
up in it.
we just don't
but
know.
you
We're
first
just
need to get
early
it to
access
space.
stuff.
Which is kind of why it's so exciting
No,
because it's
no, it just needs to be upgraded.
most games I go into.
You build it,
Right.
but now you need to continue to build it.
If you upgrade it,
Apparently,
they will
Most
come.
games that I go into, I usually have a really good idea of the A to Z. Right.
Right.
So nothing
Oh,
really takes me by
here's
surprise.
the description of the space elevator. Space elevator.
That's-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
Well, anyway, so we went up to it because Jordan's like, all right, cool, I'm coming back. Send me to space. We finally built it. By the way, when is it finally built it? I was like single-handedly trying to orchestrate and build this whole base up. Well, he just occasionally coming back like, hey, I need a new zapper.
I
to fight
died.
things. I need some more materials. Okay, bye.
Hook it up with a new zapper. I'm
So
gonna
he
go
goes,
die
okay.
in space again.
Elevator's done. Send me to space. I'm like, all right, I guess I will. I don't know what I'm doing. So we went up to it, hit E, of course, because that's their favorite button in this game. And it's like, oh, it just needs these rotors and this other particular thing we have to build. And he's like, okay, so we just have to upgrade it again. So we work for probably another hour because you have to.
I helped now.
That
Yeah.
sounds fucking awful.
Well,
It
hang on,
is.
hang
It
on.
is. That's
So then
it
we
is.
finally get the pieces we need. We put it in, and it's even more satisfying because on the screen when you interact with it, there's a lever, and there it says load, seal, send, and you have to click and drag, and it goes load, and it's like it shows it. Anyway, it's all very satisfying to me. Satisfactory. No, it's not. Doesn't work. And anyway, you hit from seal. You go to send, and you drag the lever down again, and you actually watch the elevator like shoot up, and then it also extends further out. Because at the time we could see kind of the top of it. It was just like in the low atmosphere,
Mhm.
and then it just extends further. And I'm like, oh, sick! I don't know what's going on,
So
but
he's
I'm
very
pumped.
excited about the game.
So when you get the game, do you get some kind of pamphlet that allows you
No.
to like read?
Oh no, this is a joke. This is Charlie being an asshole.
What are you talking about?
Oh, what am I talking about? yeah. My favorite word.
Oh,
of all
Mike
time.
James doesn't like pamphlet.
By
the word, it's
like
his
nails
moist.
on a chalkboard.
It's his moist. Ladies out there, if you don't like moist or the C word, that's from Mike James's pamphlet.
Anyway, also
Pamphlet.
Last thing, and I'll stop talking about this game.
Spelled PAM.
Geordie multiple times.
Pamphlet.
Geordie multiple times throughout the night. He'd be like, "All right, I'm probably gonna jump off soon," and it was like 3 hours later.
Well, then I
Now,
was like,
we were having whether the game is fun to Geordie, we were having a good time.
anecdotally,
Okay.
while we were just talking about whatever the fuck we were talking about, it gives you a lot of time to do that. 'Cause
So you were having fun in spite of the game, it sounds like.
I was having fun talking,
Right.
not playing the game. And
Right.
also, I was trying to make things difficult, like see if I would fall to my death or survive.
Oh,
That was
by the way,
fun. I
real
fell
quick,
to my death a couple times.
I can make parachutes now.
No need.
Now you can go cliff jumping.
No
No,
need.
I prefer
I'm
without
good.
the
I'd
parachute.
rather die.
Can you give me a parachute
Well, he
pack
fell
with
to his
just
death a
forks
lot.
in it? Okay.
Oh, you know what?
Fucking the Acme anvil.
Yeah.
You know what I saw on the internet this week?
That's
a
very
loaded
open.
By the way, boobs. No, it was well, yes, but specifically what I wanted to talk
My
about
boobs? You saw my
was
boobs on the
Smash Mouth trended because they tweeted
Oh my god, that's
a
right.
tweet that said something to the effect of,
They haven't been relevant since Twitter came out, by the way.
well, this is probably the first time they've ever
Hard
trended.
disagree.
I argue that because of the memes alone.
Yeah. Hard
Okay,
disagree.
so but hold on. They said straight pride parade ? Fuck off or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, and then also a couple of letters were capitalized and not kind of like how you used
Yeah,
to write
yeah,
like
yeah,
20 years ago on AIM.
Maybe they use some numbers for
Let me go ahead and
replacements for
get the
letters.
exact quote on
Yeah,
this
so
bad
pull
boy.
it
Yeah,
up.
it'd be easy to find.
Well, the
But-
exact quote was straight
Straight Pride Parade.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Yep, that's
you see
it.
how it's written?
Yep. Straight Pride Parade. Bunch of
How many question marks?
5.
Well,
Five
let's not
question
give them
marks.
too much credit. They
So-
did name themselves Smash Mouth.
So we had to look into this because I'm like, what is he talking about? And yeah, fuck off with straight pride parade.
Yeah.
That's got to be a joke though. I didn't believe
Yeah.
that somebody actually, but no, somebody orchestrated an actual
Yeah,
straight pride
a
parade.
fella by the name of Mark C Haiti organized it, and it's tentatively going to happen on August 31st in Boston.
As a Boston
actual-
sports team fan, it's really, really, really shitty.
Hey, Tommy, now your birthday will forever correlate with the Straight Pride Parade in Boston.
So straight. Dude.
So apparently, when
Love
we
you,
read
buddy.
more about it, he's trying to make a point about like liberal politics, or
Identity
something like that.
politics,
identity
yeah.
politics, right? But the problem is he's not going after identity politicians. He's going after the gay pride parade. That's what he's mocking.
Yeah.
So he's failing. In fact, when you have to read 3 different articles and define the intent for the parade just to see that little blurb, obviously he's failing because
Yeah.
you have to dig further. And
Yeah.
how many people are actually going to dig further? They're just going to see that he's putting this on and say, hey, this guy's a real fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, people just live on the headlines
And
now.
You
even if
actually-
it is
you mentioned
satire,
it- you
even if
mentioned it
is
at the
satire,
beginning
why the
when
fuck
we-
are you making fun of like
Of all the
gay pride
things,
parade?
yeah, like they already got made fun of for like 100,000 years. Leave them the fuck alone.
yeah,
Jesus.
I feel like they've taken enough. Let them have a fucking parade.
That is kind of their
Can
thing
you-
anyway.
Well, can you name any
They make
other
fun of
song
themselves better than
other
any of us could
All-Star?
anyway.
Walking on the Sun.
Did they sing? I thought that was
You
Sugar Ray.
might as well be walking on the dirt.
That's right.
And they also did a cover of Why Can't We Be Friends? Also a part of the Shrek soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Charlie. Yeah, fuck just now.
Whatever. They still
More
Hang
than one
on.
person knew that. at
And the
table.
best Vine I've ever seen in my life. You know the beginning of All Stars.
Yeah.
They were really big in my
And
high
there's a
school
guy
years, and
at
I
a-
try to repress those
Hold on,
memories.
this,
so.
this is one of
It's
the
a
greatest
Vine.
memes of all time.
It's a guy at a rodeo, and
Oh, wait, never mind.
there's a guy on a bull, and they're about to open get the gate open so he can actually
The
start the
chute.
rodeo. And there's a guy still in the arena, and it goes but they obviously pause the song, and everyone's just looking at the arena, and it goes, body really, and it's right as the gate swings open and nails this guy in the face and knocks him on the ground. And I every time I fucking see it, I crack up laughing.
My favorite from them, not from them, somebody took, the internet's beautiful. They make
Yeah.
some of the best fucking comedy there is.
Shout out to the meme community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so fast with it too.
Somebody with a lot of time on their hands made the Infinite Loop YouTube video. I think
Don't
it's,
stop coming.
yeah.
Don't stop
Somebody, once I get to the, and I
I was
don't start
wondering why
coming
you guys
part.
sang that every
Yeah.
time
Don't
it
stop
came
coming.
on.
Yeah.
Don't stop-
So once they get to the and they don't stop coming part, then it loops that track. Actually, it plays the whole song
But
on loop. But all they say is, and they don't stop coming,
And
and they don't
they
stop coming,
auto-tune
and they don't stop
To
coming,
fit
and
the
they don't.
rest of the song. So
Correct.
it's like, don't stop coming and you don't stop coming. You don't
It's
stop
so
coming and you
perfect.
don't stop coming.
No, that's a
it's
different one.
amazing.
The one I saw was just, and they don't stop coming,
Oh,
and they don't stop
that's-
coming, and they don't
Yeah.
stop coming.
Oh.
And it goes on for 3 hours. It's fucking amazing.
That reminds me of the Eminem.
Did you watch
cut.
all 3 hours
Yeah.
of it?
There's a spaghetti on a spaghetti already. Mom spaghetti.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I like, look, whatever that dude's name is, the front man for Smash Mouth.
What
I
is
believe
his
his name
name?
is Smash Mouth.
I thought you said
First
it was
name
Guy.
Smash.
Wow, the
Guy
hubris.
Ferrari.
He is the
Ferrari.
Guy Fieri of early 2000s.
It's hard to
butt
give him a
rock.
genre because you don't want to insult a genre. So you were about to say rock, like, well,
Yeah, well,
alternative, well.
I can't put him anywhere.
it's
It's
kind
Well,
of
the
like
late
a-
90s was a very rough time for people trying to find their
Transcendent.
place. Like you had alternative music, you had grunge, and then you had that in between where like your Smash Mouth, your Sugar Ray. All
Well, that was more like
don't-
rock
we're
pop.
not-
You're crazy.
Is that what it
Rock.
was?
Yeah.
Pop
Rock
rock.
pop?
Yes, rock pop.
I think grunge is a subcategory of alternative.
I agree.
Okay.
So
But can you be a grunge band without flannel?
No, absolutely
No, it's
not.
impossible.
And denim.
when Vine was a thing, did any of you guys ever
No.
peruse it or?
No, I didn't
So
have
Vine
Vine.
was, I think, one of the best things ever happened to apps on a phone ever because they
Vine
were
is a beautiful
they were
thing.
like 6 seconds long. What was it? 7 seconds?
7 seconds.
7 seconds
And now
long,
there's
and
TikTok.
it was. And if you didn't like it, it was
Musically.
7 seconds. So I was like, okay, moving on. And then the ones that nailed it, fucking nailed it. And now the only way to really get that is like compilations on YouTube of old Vines. Well, the app that's been going around mostly in the younger, like middle school, high school, TikTok. So I downloaded it, and it has is absolutely been scratching that itch that why I miss Vine.
Do you find it's
Absolutely. So now it's
void?
real hit and miss. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't
Because
get into
anybody
that
can make
stuff.
it.
yeah. But when it hits, it fucking hits.
It's like news accuracy on the internet.
I never had a Vine. Never,
Anybody can make
never
it.
like I hear about people now where they're like, oh, they were really famous on Vine. I didn't know what Vine was.
Well, yeah, that was kind of like the ride. That was before, and they all went to YouTube after that. Like
Yeah,
all
but-
the popular Viners then started making their, Logan Paul, that cunt.
I feel like Vine became more popular after it died.
You know what's funny?
Yes.
Is
Vine
Viners,
compilations became like
Sound-
huge things on YouTube. They all had like millions
Like
of views.
King
It's
Badge.
crazy.
Viner sounds like German for whiners. You know what I mean?
I
Anyway.
was a professional viner.
That's
Yeah,
That's
now
what
that,
my-
yeah, it does sound like that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, well, TikTok.
Well, I guess saying that you're a professional Viner is also
When you said
unfortunate.
TikTok
Do you
earlier, I
guys
thought
think
said
that's
Peacock.
what killed Vine? Is the fact that it did like German whiners when they
I
said
don't
Viners?
think so, no.
I highly
Okay.
doubt that.
I also doubt
it also
yeah.
sounds like German slang for a vagina.
Vine, 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 Vine.
She showed me her viner.
That sounds like wiener more or less.
It does a little bit.
All right, well,
Well, maybe.
we need to pay the bills, Bill.
Yeah.
Shit, y'all fucking
By
got
the
me.
way, our,
Yo, you got me, dog.
our sponsor tonight sent us a lot of nice little pamphlets. So if you sign up for our newsletter, we
Charlie,
will
you're
send
trying
you
too
some.
hard. You really got to be.
No, we all agreed before we started this
You
that
can
we
do
would
better.
pepper it in 5 times.
But you're the only
Everybody
one.
forgot, so I'm just going to get them all in
I'm
there.
not the only one.
Don't force the issue, Charlie. You can do. You're better than that. Come up with a clever way.
Pamphlet.
Okay, so no,
That's
those are
all
the other
5.
3. Now it's all 5. Great. Thank you so much.
All right, nailed it.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by.
Pamphlets, because fuck Mike James. That's why.
That's it. That's it. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Just fucking say booklet, okay? Pamphlet is unnecessary and it sucks to
Pamphlet,
say.
I honestly like that word.
It's unacceptable.
I don't mind it. I'm real on the fence about it. Don't care. You know what my moist is? Slurp. Slurp.
but that's in the same vein as moist, right?
Slurp.
Yeah.
I don't want to know
Usually
about
slurp things that are
anything
moist.
that's slurped or moist with either one of you.
Sometimes,
So-
Charlie, sometimes you got to slurp a moist vein, you know?
Oh, God.
Oh, yikes.
And
Jesus.
And cut. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank
Oh,
you
wow.
for stopping by.
Hey.
We had a wonderful time.
Time really flew that episode.
Yeah, it did. We didn't talk about particularly anything, but it
But
was
so
awesome.
much.
Hey, check us out on Instagram, A Literal Show, Twitter, A Literal Show, @A Literal Show, and twitch.tv/literal show. On YouTube, we don't have enough subscribers. Hint, hint. to
Also,
have-
Friendster wouldn't let me make a new account, so
yeah. Also on Grinder, A Literal Show.
that's not
I've been
true.
posting to MySpace, but nobody seems to give a shit.
And also look me up on my live journal.
Dead Journal.
Yeah, Live Journal.
I had
And
a
then-
dead journal. I had a dead journal.
also, all of our news are on Tumblr
So
if you guys
edgy.
want to check that out. Good night. Thank you for listening.
Bye.